Hello, I am Sumit Koli. So welcome to my channel, and it's going to be my first video. And today we are going to see that how we can connect the Node.js and Express.js application with our local MongoDB server, uh, and how we can do all the CRUD operations in it. So I will simply share my screen, and we will go into the video, the explanation part. So this is an empty folder which I have created, and all the things, all the stuff which we are going to look today are going to in this be in this folder only. So I will share the simply notes along with you that as I mentioned in the starting that we are going to connect the Express or the Node.js application with our local MongoDB. So all the things which we need before going to this video is that we should have a basic understanding of what is Node, what is Express, what is MongoDB, and what is JavaScript. So everyone should know that what is JavaScript and all the ES6 features. For example, the arrow functions, the async await, the reduce, map, and filter, all these things. So this was the basic things which everyone should know before going through this video. And what is Mongoose, what is .env, what is bycrypt, what is JWT token? We will look into it. I will give the brief information about it while coding. So this was all the things and basic things which we need. So what is Express, what is Mongoose? So I will give the Mongoose. What was the Mongoose, for example? And what's the MongoDB? So MongoDB is a database. It's a NoSQL database where we can store the data and do all the CRUD operations. So this is the MongoDB Compass. So this is the MongoDB Compass. So we can download the MongoDB. We need to install it in our local computer, and we can do all the stuffs in it. So these are all the database which I have created earlier. So we are also going to create today. Basically, I will come up with an so I have done a spelling mistake with the backend. So I've corrected it. So I've created a folder with the name backend. So we need to install the Node.js application over here. So what will be the command to what we say install the Node.js application? So the command is npm init-y. init-y. So this is the command to install the Node.js application. So when I hit the enter button, so a Node.js application will be what we say created along with the JSON, what we say, package.json file and node modules, etc. So I will hit the enter. So the stuff is going very little bit slow. So before going to it, we will understand that what is Mongoose. So Mongoose is a stuff that is used to connect the local application, the Express application, along with the local MongoDB. Means it is used to connect the browser and the client, etc. We can say. So it is also used. So here we can see that Mongoose is a object data modeling library for MongoDB and Node.js. So it provides a simple way that how we can what we say interact with the MongoDB, and how we can means whenever we are entering any data inside the database, so it should be in a structure. So we can before entering or adding the data into the database, it will go through the schema, whatever schema we are entering, we are preparing with the help of Mongoose. It will go into that schema, and it will, before the data is put into the database, it will be put according to that schema or according to the structure. Means simply we can say that it is used to structure the database or data or whatever data we are entering. And it is also used what we say is used for validation purpose. Means that whatever data we are entering is valid data or not. So we will look detail into it, that what all things are this. So as we can see that a package.json file is created over here. So a basic node structure has been we have defined the basic node structure over here. So so we know that to do with all the stuff, what all things we need. So everyone knows that what is npm and what is node package. So it is used to install all the applications. So now we need the help of the Express, Mongoose, JWT. We will see that if time permits, then we will make the use of JWT and bycrypt. So, but we will install all these things. So we need JWT, bycrypt, nodemon, .env, Express, and Mongoose. So we will simply install with all these things. npmi express nodemon .env, and other thing is Mongoose, which is going to be an important thing in today's application. And we will also install with what they say bycrypt. So these are the basic things which we need. If we need the JWT token, or if we are going to do with all these things, we will look and we will install it later. So these are the basic things which we require. So I will simply enter, and all the things are getting installed. So once the things get installed, we will get an means a structure over here that what all things have been installed in our system. Means in our this Node.js application. So we have so while installing one thing, here we can see I have installed the Nodemon. So what does Nodemon does? So no, the purpose of installing Nodemon is that whenever we are running any of the Node.js application, so we need to do the node and write the name of the file. So this is how we used to run the Node.js and we used to get the output. So to avoid it that again and again writing all these things again and again, we install the Nodemon and we mention inside the scripts that the server should be run with the help of Nodemon. So here we will write that server is equal to Nodemon and which file should be run. So we will write the name of that file. So index.js is going to be a basic file where all our things will be kept. So the server will also be run from there. So this is the basic structure. So we are waiting to that all these things should be installed. So the things are there. So now we will now we will talk about that what will be the folder structure. So folder structure should be, for example, now we are going to make the use of the Mongoose, the index. So as I mentioned inside the package.json file that the server will be run. The server will be run. When the server will be run, this file will be the main thing which should be run. So we will make all the things which we need to create are the index.js file, the db.js file means it will be used to connect, and we are going to follow the MVC structure. So what all the MVC structure is, we will go into depth about all these things. So we can see that whatever things we have written to install, that all the things have been installed successfully, and we can see the track inside the package.json file. So this was the basic thing which we need to install. So before going, as I mentioned that we need the index.js file and db.js file. So what is the need of db.js file? I will explain it, but we need to create all these things. So instead of going here and creating a new file, we will simply write over here the command as index.js. So we can see that index.js has been created. So I will simply create all the stuff which we need. So I will create JS. So what is git ignore? We will look into it. But before going, it will be a very, what we say, different thing to explain right now. So we have created with all these things. So I have mentioned that we will follow the MVC structure. So what do we mean by MVC structure? MVC means model, view, and controllers. So what will be the models? So as I mentioned that we are going to use the Mongoose. So as I'm while explaining that what exactly Mongoose is, I mentioned that it is used to structure the data. So what will be the model of the data? So we will mention all that things inside that model. And we also have the view. So view is used to store all the front end. Means, for example, there can be a React app, or there can be a what we say a website created with the help of a basic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript, or there can be application which has been created with the help of Angular or etc. So whatever things related to the front end will be included in the view folder. And for example, and the last things comes is controllers. So what are controllers? Controllers are all the things, means all the HTTP requests which we are going to make will be included inside the controllers. Means it is going to be a routes. So simply we can also rename it as routes. So we know that we need to create that folder. So I will simply create the folder. So we will name models. So models folder has been created. So second thing is routes or controllers. So I will name it as routes. And the third thing was view, but as I mentioned that we are not going to do with the front end part, so we will not create the view part. So inside this route, I will create the new folder as user.router.js. And inside this model, I will create a file known as user.model.js. So I have created with both the files. So now we will go into the index.js file and we will start to code, and we will understand what exactly we are going to do today. So I'm inside the db.js file. Sorry, I will close all these things and I will go inside the index.js file. So first of all, we need, as we are going to make the use of the Express, so we need the Express. So I will simply import all these things. So I have imported the Express. So how the structure will be. So now I need to create the app. So app means it's going to be a server. So I've created with the app, and we will make the use of the middleware known as app.use what we say express.json. So for example, I can show you, but let's code. Or before that, let's see. So we need to connect this, or we need to run the server. So to run the server, we know that we will make the use of listen. So app.listen. So on what path we need to run this? So to go into depth, we will include the path over here. So what port exactly? So the port should be 8080. So I will run my application on this port, the server on this port. So I will so when I install the .env, so what .env does? So we will go over here and we will search that what .env does. So exactly. So we need to make the use of the required.config.env. My browser isn't responding. So this many tabs have been opened. So there was my browser. So I'm trying to close all these things. So here we can see that what exactly .env is. We can find each and every information related to .env, that what exactly the .env is used. So I will explain it, but we need to copy this command and we need to enter over here. So I have done with the .env. We also know that we need to make the use of the middleware to convert it into JSON. So app.use express JSON. So we have made the use to convert it into JSON. Uh, so so it's this is all about the .env. So what exactly .env does? So we can see over here that I have mentioned the port, that at which port our server should run. So our server is running at 8080. But however this server means app will know that the server should be run at 8080 because we have included over here. We might have included directly written over here as 8080, and we would have been run the function that server 8080. We might have directly written all these things. But we have made the use of .env. So we will mention that over here as process.env dot code. So if I run the command over here, for example, if I run the command that so I'm running the server. So if I run the server, there will be a output that the server is running at 8080. Or otherwise, we will make the use of the process.env over here also. So we'll include the same thing. So we can see over here that the node has been started. So here we can see that the server is running at 8080, means this process.env is finding the port number from the .env file. So this is the use of the what we say .env. So we have created with each and every stuff. So now we will jump into the Mongoose, or otherwise we will what we will do that we will try to make a get request. Get slash sync. Send. So we will send error.message message, and inside the try block, what we will do is that we will send a response, or we will store it into a variable, or await, send that this is home page. So I have created with basic stuff. So if for example I go into the browser, and if I run localhost 8080, and if I put the slash at the ending, that we can get that this is a home page which we are sending as the response from over here. So we are getting our output successfully. So for all these things, for doing the CRUD operations, we will make the use of this what we say postman. So we know that we cannot do all the CRUD operations in the browser because we need the front end for it. So I will copy this URL and I will paste inside the postman. So I have simply pasted it inside the postman. So we have created with the basic stuff over here. So I will simply close this and close this. So now all the things come into existence. So what is Mongoose? So we know that we are going to connect the local Node.js, Express.js with the local MongoDB. So now we will import the Mongoose. So we have imported the Mongoose. So we will make the connection now. As I mentioned that we will connect it. Mongoose dot connect. So what we need to connect? So here also we need the .env. So I will simply copy this thing where .env, and I will go in db.js and I will simply paste over it. So it will make the help. Now we are going to include the MongoDB URL. So what should be the Mongo URL? So here, if we go into the MongoDB compass, and here is the localhost URL. So if I go over here, so we can see that if we copy the connection string, so we will get the MongoDB URL. So this is the MongoDB URL. I will simply do it in the form of string, or I will also do the same for it. So if I go again over here, and if I again refresh, so there is no change over here, you can see. So we have made the use of .env also over here. So to bring this URL inside the db.js, we need to copy this Mongo URL, and we need to include the process.env, not Mongo URL. So it will simply connect, and we need to export it. So we know that how to export in by using the Node.js or Express. So module dot export is equal to, so what we need to export connection. So I will simply save it, and I will copy this connection, and I will come into index.js, and we will import over here. Const connections is equal to from where we need the connection. So require dot from db.js. So we need it from db.js file. So we have imported the connection. So here see. So now the things come into existence that what we say, now we are only running it. So we need to also mention the connection. So we need to connect our the Express application with the MongoDB. So I will copy this thing from here. So it should be async await function. We can make the normal function also, but I'm trying to make the use of async await because it's a good practice. So inside the try block, I will mention await and over here as connection. And after that, I will mention that over here as, for example, block connected to DB, means connected to database. Otherwise, I will console.log error. Simply error. And after this, I will console log that the server is running at this port. If I save, so we can see down. So it is loading. So the loading one is being loading. So after some time, we will see that the server has been connected to DB, and after that, we will get the output as console.log server is running. So if I go over here and if I refresh, so here down we can see that connected to DB and server is running at port 8080. So we have connected our Express application with the local MongoDB. So this was the basic thing. So the rest other part we will see in the next video. So thank you for supporting me. So this was all about that how we can connect it. So in the next part, in the second part, we will see all the CRUD operations and all the models and all the things which are there in the Mongoose. With the help of Mongoose, we will do many more things. So this was all about that how to connect the local Express application with the local MongoDB. Thank you.